Today I'm going to be playing a Patreon deck from Drumsy. So this deck is going to be a Quest Hunter that plays 2 copies of Jewel of N'Zoth at the top end. So the only Deathrattles we're playing for Jewel of N'Zoth are going to be 2 Teacher's Pet and 2 Kartut Defenders. But that's kind of all we need, and that's what we want of Jewel of N'Zoth on turn 8, right? We are spending the first 7 turns of the game doing things that are relatively weak for the sake of completing the quest. We use the Teacher's Pet and the Kartut Defender to just barely survive. And then on turn 8, we play the Jewel of N'Zoth. Maybe that's what finishes the quest. And it gives us a big wall of taunts to protect us so we can actually use our quest hero power going forward. So other than the Deathrattle stuff, we've also got a bit of a secret package, because we want to play Snake Trap to help with the quest, and Petting Zoo also helps with the quest. So yeah, let's take it for a spin.
Rexa versus Uther. I will fight with honor. Let the hunt begin.
Diving Griffin's a keep, right? That card's good. I guess Pack Tactics is an okay turn too.
I cannot wait to read these.
I think I'd rather have a Snake Trap in play than a Pack Tactics. Seems like my Diving Griffin is getting traded off next turn anyway. Miss 2 damage to play around freeze. I have a Snake Trap in play, so it doesn't make that much sense for me to trade this off.
The best defense is a great.
I'm sure he also won't trade into it. I guess I just double trade into the 4-2. Next turn I play this pair. And then after that with 6-7, looks like we should be finishing the quest pretty reliably.
I'm going to throw the book at you.
Kinda wish I'd put a Pack Tactics in play instead of a Snake Trap, but either way I think Teacher's Pet is good here.
I'm going to throw the book at you. Move quickly.
I'm taking a lot of damage. So I can kill both of his taunts if I play Swarm of Locusts. It's a little bit unfortunate actually that Mukla survives this trade. But that's probably still the line I want to take. I don't think it makes too much sense to send 2 damage in here. I guess it doesn't really matter that I missed out on a Locust because Shuma completes the quest next turn anyway. Hopefully this is his whole turn. Another 3-5, so I'm looking at 7 damage next turn. I'm dead to True Silver. It's not that likely I die here. And if I don't die next turn, I can go like Kartut Defender Pack Tactics. Definitely seems like I'm on the defensive here. I do just have 18 damage here. So let's see, 4 of these go in here, 2 in here. I mean, it seems like I just Kartik Defender hero power. I might not get the pack tactics on the Kartik Defender, but on board at least he doesn't kill it. And just going up to 12 is probably good enough for the time being.
Is my mirror.
I'm not in that good of a spot, I guess. Bone Wraith is nice. Probably want to get some pack tactics value here. I'm fairly surprised to see Day at the Fair or Blessing of Kings in my opponent's deck. Not totally sure what to make of that. Seems like a good turn to play Petting Zoo, though. Trade, punch. 2 secrets, make some 3/3s. Miss out on the hero power this turn, but it doesn't really do anything anyway. Play the pack tactics first so it doesn't take up one of our discover spots. I don't think it's ever snipe, but explosive and snake both have their appeal. I don't think explosive really matters though, because like I'm at 10, 10 is fine. Although it would be dead to true silver over 2 turns. But like snake is just, I don't know, like is he ever gonna set off snakes? Whatever, snakes are better. Even if he true silvers me here, I can always use the Renling's rifle to try to hit like misdirection or something. Or I don't know if there's an or something, probably just misdirection. That's a lot of 1/1s. Well, that's a good draw. I feel reasonably confident that I don't lose with Kartik Defender here. So I'm fine to eat this 2 damage. Open the cages is the proactive choice, I guess. I'm in a weird spot here, because like I don't really need to go face, I don't really need the trade. Kind of feels like I can just do whatever I want. What's the worst case scenario, I guess? Equality Consecrate. I go up to 9. I mean, I technically could be dead too. Libram of Justice, Consecration, True Silver. Oh wait, no, because that doesn't even play around the pack tactics on Kartik Defender. See, I don't think I like ever die here. If I do, this is a start though. I mean, this Kartik Defender doesn't have Reborn, but still. And right, I knew one of his cards was Libram of Wisdom, so that wasn't really a concern anyway. This would have been a really good turn to draw Jewel. I guess I just trade. Because, like, he plays Blessing of Kings and Blessing of Authority. So, like, it seems pretty good to not leave him with a board. That's a scary draw. Misha's nice. Hey, there we go. That wins the game, right?
This wasn't on the map. Become the hero this world needs. Greatness calls.
I must move quickly.
Yeah, that's a cute life seal, but... Well, I mean, he's not dead here, probably. Maybe that is good enough. But only for the turn. Wow, I still have a snake trap in my deck. So I've got 16 damage here. Probably just trading into his two big things. Leave myself the exact perfect amount of room for my snakes.
Become the hero this world needs. Greatness calls.
By the holy light!
I cannot wait to read these.
That thing has reached a somewhat obnoxious breakpoint. What do the numbers look like? Yeah, I always have to send 3 into this guy. That much is obvious. I could go like double Snake Face Stalker into it, but how is that ever better than Kartik Defender? I guess I could just punch him in the face for 18 here. Value trading kind of protects my 3-1, but like... I think this is fine. If I'm like trading into these, then he's allowed to use his weapon into the 3-1 anyway. I'm sort of starting to lose my position here. Like if he has a strong turn here. But I have so many insane draws in my deck that I think it's fine. Still feeling pretty comfortable with this game. So I've got 13, 19 here. Oh, I still have a Kartik Defender. Oh wait, no, I was counting on this thing killing it. Alright, so yeah, I definitely don't have lethal here, even with Unleash the Hounds, because my opponent doesn't have a board. But I'm still ahead on board, and I hit my opponent pretty hard here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be good enough. He's putting up a hell of a fight. I have super lethal here. And this one shots, and then all of this is just pure damage. So this is the part of the video where I'm supposed to make some adjustments to the deck to hopefully make it a little bit better. But realistically, I don't know how many changes I can make. This is just a pretty solidly built quest hunter, and if you're attached to the quest, the Jewel of N'Zoth, and the secret stuff, then there's not really that much room to play around with the cards. But in my experience, I was not that big a fan of some of the secret stuff. I did like the secrets themselves, and Phase Stalker is always nice. But I found it was somewhat difficult to get value out of Petting Zoo. It just made my turns a little bit awkward. And it felt weird to play Mystery Winner, because, like, I don't really want to keep this off the mulligan, do I? Because I want to be playing the quest on turn 1. And then, I don't know, I still have to find the time to play, like, a 1-1, and then I have to find the time to play the secret. And I've got other secret stuff going on. I don't know, I just felt that the Mystery Winner was a bit awkward. So if I was going to play around with the deck at all, it would probably involve cutting the Mystery Winners and the Petting Zoos. I think the other secret stuff is fine on its own, but you could also consider cutting that as well. Now, there are definitely a few different cards that we could put in these slots. Adorable Infestation, Dwarven Sharpshooter. Tracking is always nice to have in Hunter decks. Wolpertinger probably makes a lot of sense. If you're worried about aggro, you can play Explosive Trap. Maybe you'd have to cut like 1-pack tactics for 1 explosive trap or something along those lines. Which also is going to make the Phase Stalkers a bit more consistent. What else is there? Scavenger's Ingenuity is usually good in Hunter decks. We've got, what, the 3 Rush Minions, 2 Phase Stalkers, and Teacher's Pet. I think Teacher's Pet is going to kind of suck to hit off Scavenger's Ingenuity sometimes. But the card is really good. If it hits any of the other stuff, it's super good, so probably one of the better cards we've looked at so far. Another option is Desert Spear. It's just a good weapon on its own. We only play one other weapon. And I don't know, Desert Spear gives you 3 things for your quest, so seems like a pretty good card in the deck. There are a couple new cards I was considering playing in this deck. Not sure how reasonable they'll be, but maybe potentially good. For one, we only play 3 Rush Minions currently. 2 Diving Griffin and 1 Zixor, which seems like it might leave a Diving Griffin stranded pretty often. So we could maybe try out Crab Rider. In the decks I've played Crab Rider in, it's been a lot better than I expected. But I'm not sure how it would perform in a deck that doesn't buff it very well. Of course, in the late game, it does maintain some relevancy because you can buff it with the quest. So, like, maybe a copy of Crab Rider would be good. Something to consider, at least. And something else to consider might be Armor Vendor. It's got a pretty good early game stat line. The armor helps you live long enough to actually complete your quest. The armor can help you get into the 5 and 6 mana turns where you play your big taunt minions. And I think Quest Hunter tends to overkill people pretty hard with the quest, so giving the opponent 4 armor doesn't really matter. So why not? Let's try it out. Are 2 copies going to be worth it? Not sure, but I'll give it a shot. So another slot that I'm not necessarily in love with is this one of Bone Wraith. I think it's good, but if we're looking for cards to replace, I think that's going to be one of them. So let's go for second ingenuity. And then what do I want from here? I'm fine with all these one-ofs. Could maybe see cutting Rindling's Rifle for Desert Spear. But for now, I think this list is at least worth trying out. Okay. Rogue is a nice change of pace from all the decks I've been playing against. But I do think it's probably a pretty bad matchup. Got my Armor Vendor though, and my Crab Rider. Based on what I'm queuing into, these are basically anti-rogue cards, so if they're not good in this matchup, they probably shouldn't be in the deck.
I smell blood.
Oh, look at this beautiful turn. Armor. God, Armor Vendor is good against Worgen Infiltrator. Play my 3-mana minion on turn 3. So the early game's gone really well for me, but I definitely need to, like, draw into something relevant next turn.
Blood and plunder.
Okay. Well, Phase Stalker counts as something decent this turn. Explosive. Not the best turn to hit Explosive, but it's fine, I guess. It's gonna trade with his Worgen. Because he can weapon into this, so I assume the Worgen's going face here. God, Snake and Pack Tactics were just so much better than Explosive this turn. Kinda sad. That's a bad draw. But hey, he's going into his turn 5 as Aggro Rogue, and I'm at 38, so can't complain too much, I guess. Oh, that's so annoying that he hit a rush minion here. If he didn't hit the rush minion, and it's, of course, the best rush minion, but like if he didn't hit that, then the Murloc would trade with one of these things. Yeah, so I had that really great start, but now I just have 2 fucking Jewel of N'Zoth in my hand with nothing else. Like, if I could have played a Swarm of Locusts here, I'd be in good shape, but my hand is just not doing anything here. On the bright side, though, I only have 1 unplayable card that I can draw this turn. That Krastenov did, like, so much fucking damage, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I just got, like, really fucking high-rolled this game. But, I mean, I kinda high-rolled too. I had double Armor Vendor.
I must protect the wild.
Let the hunt begin.
I definitely don't need Armor Vendor against Druid. Well, this is a bit of a curve. Not a great curve, though.
My greetings. Greetings, traveler.
Well, this is the first time in a while that I've actually drawn a Jewel of N'Zoth, so that's nice, I guess. Well, no play other than Griffin. Griffin into Griffin is always nice. That definitely helps us dig through the deck. Very nice snakes. I think next turn I probably just play Redling's Rifle and try to get a relevant secret. And then like turn 5 can be Griffin Snake again. Oh, that's definitely better.
Of course it's the right way.
Wonder if my opponent's gonna start doing stuff this turn. Busy Elemental. Doesn't want to attack and freeze, understandable. Let's just throw a Teacher's Pet in the way. If I can draw into a Kartuk Defender, my deck can actually do what it's designed to do. Unfortunate strength in numbers.
Nature will rise against you.
Pack Tactics very nice for Teacher's Pet. What is this? I have 5, 9. And then whatever this hits can kill the Fizzy Elemental. I really want to play Pack Tactics here, though. I mean, I can just put like 6 damage into this, right? And then I would have 3 things in play, which would be good enough for both of my secrets to go off. Yeah, I think this is the position I want to be in. We are making really nice progress on this quest. Mukla, very nice. So it looks like my onboard trades are pretty nice here. I don't think I'm ever using Renling's Rifle to trade.
This wasn't on the map.
So let's just hit him in the face and see what we can pick up. I mean, Snake is good for my deck. I don't think at this point I'm gonna have too much trouble completing the quest. I might just go like Jewel into Jewel. The first Jewel only hits 2 Teacher's Pets, but then the second one hits 3. I could see Pressure Plate being really good against this deck. Freezing Trap as well. I've seen 2 Rush minions out of him already. How many more does he really play? But like, if he just plays Scrapyard Colossus or something, then Pressure Plate doesn't deal with that anyway. Let's go for a freeze. Alright, so let's see what this Satyr Overseer does. Or Imprisoned Satyr, rather.
Like a fungus we spread.
Okay. Probably not what my opponent was hoping for.
Your feeble magic amuses.
I do have 7 power in play. Oh, Kartuk Defender. That makes my jewels a lot better. Need to summon 5.
I hunt alone. I hunt alone.
See what secret I can get here. Pack Tactics for the Kartuk. I don't really need it at this point. But anything that puts a minion in play is good. But like, I think I'm trading into this 3/3. Maybe I just like pressure plate here. Alright, so if he kills my Kartit Defender here, or gives me something that I can trade it into, then I can finish my quest next turn. Otherwise it might be hard.
We must stop this corruption.
Okay, I can trade into one of those, and then just play Jewel. Phase Stalker hits an explosive trap. I think I just want to save the jewels for next turn when I can hero power alongside them. Putting my 3 and 4 power minions up to 5 and 6 seems pretty relevant against a ramp druid. Not sure if that's the one you want to get frozen. It is more value, but kinda slow. Good snipe. The pressure plate probably does get better in this matchup, but whatever. Scavenger's Ingenuity hits Phase Stalker, Zixor, or Teacher's Pet. Seems like I just play Jewel here. And then we are overkilling this thing, probably with Kartit Defender, since it's a nice juicy hero power target. Or maybe more likely a swipe casualty. Seems like it's hard for him to trade with his hero power here. Okay, Darkmoon Rabbit. If I didn't have another Jewel, this could be pretty bad. But if he has like another rabbit, or... well, I mean, he might just die here, actually. So I've got 8. I click the button, make it 14, and my opponent's dead. He could have the thing that gives this guy +1/+3 in taunt. Or he's just dead. Alright, so I've played quite a few games with this deck at this point, and I think I'm at the point where I can pretty safely say that I don't think Quest Hunter is really going to be the deck for this meta. I was struggling a lot with that Paladin deck that seems to be the flavor of the week. And even outside of that, it didn't seem like I was winning against control decks nearly as much as I should have been. And anytime I queued into aggro, it felt like a free loss. So this is probably not the meta for Quest Hunter. In Drumsy's defense, they did give me this deck before the mini set, so might have been a little bit different. But right now, it's probably not the play. I did make some changes to the deck to hopefully make it a little bit more consistent against aggro. I added 2 armor vendors and a crab rider. But even in the matchups that I included those for, they didn't seem very impressive. So it's probably responsible to cut this crab rider. And if you feel like you need another rush minion, that rush minion is probably Faceless Corruptor. And then we're going to cut armor vendors and just play Wolpertinger. Seems pretty hard to justify not playing Wolpertinger in this deck. I was also trying out an explosive over a pack tactics. I was actually playing against very little aggro at my rank, so the explosive is probably not very good. But if you're up against aggro, maybe the explosive is good, but if you're up against aggro, probably shouldn't be playing Quest Hunter. What else is there? I did include 2 copies of Scavenger's Ingenuity. I do think that those have been performing well. I don't think I would cut those. From here, I think if you want to change the deck more, the direction would probably be cutting Phase Stalker. And maybe all of the secrets. Maybe you keep snakes, but probably not pack tactics. And then from that point, you just want to play some good cards. Like Dwarven Sharpshooter is just a good hunter card. Maybe Adorable Infestation would be good in this deck. It's hard to go wrong with tracking. Tracking can even help find Jewel of N'Zoth or the stuff for Jewel of N'Zoth, so that could be good. And Desert Spear, I think, is the final card that I would be considering. So you could play the deck like this, or you could cut 4 to 6 secret things, or even maybe the weapon, depending, and then include some combinations of those cards. Or honestly, you could just revert to the original list that Drumsy gave me, because I think that was pretty well built.